But we see fresh in the news today, as though it was just thought of last week randomly by a technology firm, is eye scan technology the future of airport security? And they talk about A-Optics technology and their $42 million in research to try to identify passengers within seconds through an iris scan, supposedly scanning them through this database. Now, this doesn't protect anyone's safety, as I'm sure you can figure out. As I'm sure you realize, TSA is not there for safety. They're there for prisoner training, acclimation to this wider police state. If they wanted to profile people, they never would have let the suspected hijackers in on the visas during 9/11. They never would have let the underwear bomber on the plane, giving him State Department clearance to board without a passport. No, those facts don't matter. It's just about getting you to get into the system. And what's to keep someone with violent intentions from registering anyway under the Trusted Traveler program? No, it's just about this new system. It's always been part of the plan, but now we're seeing it rolled out, being gradually accepted, and frankly, in a way, they like all the revolt against the pat-downs and the body scanners because it presents the false Hegelian option of this new Trusted Traveler program's biometrics to be the only way you'll be allowed to travel in the future. All this was written about by the eugenicists and the other world domination schemers more than 100 years ago. But I'm sure no one's interested in all of that. Also in technology news, scientists have successfully hacked the brain to obtain private data. They say they've used off-the-shelf emotive brain technology, which costs a mere $300, and they're able to use it to basically elicit, at least in their practical principles, things like PIN numbers, memorize security numbers, passwords. It's all part of this familiar interface recognition inside the brain that they've learned to recognize. They call it the P300 signal, and they say that signal, the P300, is typically given off when a person recognizes something meaningful, such as someone or something they interact with on a regular basis. So you've got these researchers basically masterminding how to read your mind, and especially to gather some of the most sensitive data, the stuff we've all learned to memorize to access our various accounts online. Now that's all in danger with very cheap technology that obviously leaves it wide open to hackers and everyone else and governments who spy on us without warrants. Meanwhile, more prisoner training news. Austin kids, the latest to be tracked with GPS technology. They're doing rollouts in 9 schools here in Austin, Texas, where I live, as well as in San Antonio, Dallas, La Joya. And this has already been done in places all across the country. They're going to carry a cell phone-like device that registers a GPS signal tracking each of the 1,700 students in this particular program at several intervals throughout the day. It registers them with a quote-unquote mentor who's going to check in with them and make sure they're doing what they're told. All of this erodes parental rights, not only to indoctrinate your kids with actual facts and knowledge from actual books instead of from government institutions with watered-down Big Brother rewritten history versions, but also to physically track you and treat you what public schools have long already felt like, well, a prison, where they also track prisoners. Of course, many of the prisoners out on parole and other release programs have already been forced to wear GPS bracelets, ankle bracelets, and the like. And now basically the other vulnerable populations, like students, are being met with this as well. You've seen them also push it with the elderly, who they say, you know, they could have loss of memory, they could have dementia, what have you, and get lost. And that's a way to find them again and keep everyone safe. Everything must be accepted because of safety. Well, we know what Benjamin Franklin said about that. Those who give up their essential liberty for safety will, of course, get neither. And Paul Watson adds to his report on the GPS tracking device how they've already put private surveillance cameras into homes in the UK. There was the episode of the school district in Pennsylvania where the laptops were spying on kids in their homes. Oh, why? To make sure they were eating right? Make sure they were doing their homework. This is getting really creepy, folks. We've got to say no to this, but instead it's just another step in keeping everyone safe. No big deal. All the parents signed off. Everyone has permission.